This week on the show, we talk about harvesting cannabis, killer vaporizers, and why a recent pot bust in Colorado might not be a bad thing. I'm Tim Strummel, and this is Rooted. Welcome into the show. Our top story this week comes to us out from Colorado, where police conducted a raid of an illegal cannabis cultivation in Woodland Park, Colorado, which is about 30 minutes west of Colorado Springs. Authorities seized 60 plants, dozens of pounds of processed cannabis, and several pounds of hash oil in an extraction lab on the property. Now, I know what you're thinking, okay? Oh, these poor people, or oh, this is gonna be me standing up for these innocent people who are just trying to grow a plant. But no, I'm not gonna go that way. In fact, I'm gonna go far to the opposite of that way in this week's Two Sides. Okay, let's get the first side out of the way. Now, on one hand, you have someone, or more likely a group of people, running a cultivation based around a plant that grows out of the ground and most of America thinks should be fully legalized. So in that way, I guess you have to feel compassion for them, right? I mean, we don't know them, we don't know their story or their motivation behind growing. For all we know, they could be the most noble people in the world growing for the most noble cause. So perhaps it's a bad thing they got busted. But on the other hand, this is so dumb. I mean, Colorado is the most legal state in America in terms of cannabis. What on earth are you trying to do operating in a legal grow in Colorado? What's your motivation? Where's your logic? I mean, it's not for the patients because everyone in Colorado has access to pretty affordable medical or recreational cannabis, right? I mean, I can't think of a single reason that wouldn't come from some sort of selfish motivation. I mean, what's worse in this entire process is that it makes the entire industry look bad, and it gives the mainstream media and federal government an example to point to and say, you see, even with legalization, these potheads are still out here breaking the law. Now, America has seen some great people fight for cannabis legalization, and to see someone or a group of people with such a narrow view of the world that they think they're above the rest of the industry who's doing it the right way, or above the law itself, I mean, there's no excuse for it, and I think a lot of the cannabis industry has lost empathy for situations like this. I know I have. I mean, there are hundreds, probably more, of businesses in Colorado doing it the right way. And these hardworking companies don't deserve to have their movement tainted because you couldn't figure it out. Now, other states with tougher rules, I guess, are another subject for another day, but in Colorado, man, come on. Now it's time for you to weigh in. What do you think? Head to our social media pages or stayrooted.com to weigh in on this week's Two Sides. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. Now let's get to business. Of course, our business segment is brought to you by the folks over at PR420. If you've got news PR420 wants to help you share it, hit them up at pressrelease420.com today to get started. Our featured business this week comes to us from the harvesting part of the cannabis industry and a company called Green Bros Inc. Green Bros is a world leader in automated harvesting solutions for the legal cannabis industry and has put out another great product in their line of harvesting equipment called the Alchemist. Now, originally known for their dry trimmers, which many consider to be the best in the game already, the Green Bros Alchemist Dry Sift Trichome Extractor is the logical next evolution in their machinery, taking the trim created by the Green Bros Dry Trimmer and turning it into beautiful keef and another top shelf product your company can offer the market or you can create at your home grow. All you do is insert your trim into the machine and it tumbles the crystals right off the leaves, all without any chemicals. Stop selling your trim for minimum value or even throwing it away and get yourself a Green Bros Alchemist. You got to hit them up at greenbros.com or call 844-DRY-TRIM to schedule a free demo in your area today. That's 844-DRY-TRIM. We'll be right back. Welcome back into the show. This week on the Rooted Podcast, we talk with Seibo Shen, founder and CEO of Vapexhale, winners of the High Times Desktop Vaporizer of the Year in 2017. In addition to running Vapexhale, Seibo hosts a couple of podcasts himself, competes in jiu-jitsu, and raises a family. What I love most about Seibo is that he, unlike a lot of CEOs, especially in the cannabis industry, isn't afraid to speak his mind and share his opinion, which made this into a great podcast and one you should definitely listen to. Here's a sneak peek.
From 1997 to 2010, I had purchased over 100 different vaporizers. My wife was very accommodating for my hobby, even though she didn't imbibe with me. And ultimately, it got to the point where I had over 100 vaporizers, and she said, I think it's probably time, instead of just buying these, that you try to build one. You obviously, should by at this time have some idea of how the better ones function and how the worst ones are functioning. So why don't you try making one? And that was kind of the impetus of me designing the Vapexhale Evo. And it was really just to fulfill my own requirements. And ultimately, by fulfilling my own requirements, it was something that we saw that other cannabis enthusiasts would gravitate towards.
Don't forget to download and subscribe to the Rooted Podcast on iTunes or SoundCloud to get the latest episodes, and leave us a nice review if you like, so we can continue to grow like the budding plant that we are. Lastly, before we get you out of here, we're going to have to share with you our favorite thing this week, which comes to us all the way from across the pond, where a chain of supermarkets in France recently caused riots in their stores when they offered a 70% off discount of Nutella. Look it up. It's a real thing. It's the Nutella spread. I haven't tried it, but I heard it's really good. Now, at one location, over 200 people lined up to bum rush the Nutella aisle like it was Black Friday, or Nutella Friday, or Chocolate Spread Friday. I don't know. One employee of the store said people just rushed in. They were shoving everyone, breaking things. It was like an orgy. Now, I don't know about you, but that just makes me curious to see what this person thinks an orgy is. I mean, I've never been to one, but I imagine if people are rushing in, shoving, and breaking things, you should probably find a different group to have your orgies with. But that's just me. Anyways, the police were called to the store and everything calmed down. No arrests were made. So there you go. French people freaking out over Nutella. Or I guess this person's idea of what an orgy is my favorite thing this week. That's going to do it for us on the show. Quick reminder to hit up the site stayrooted.com and to check out more show content like our social pages and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Until next week, I'm Tim Strumble, reminding you to work hard, be humble, and stay rooted.